Hello and welcome to Massive Crit. We've already gone into the core rules for Into the Dark and the Imperial Navy breaches as seen on Warhammer TV, but now it's finally time to look into the Kroot Farstalker Kinband, and hopefully you know the score by now, so away we go. From what I can tell, we have an APL2 GA1 5+ save team. Again, I'm not too sure on the wounds of the operatives because it was never specifically stated in the bat rep. And we are jumping straight in with the Kill Broker leader, armed with a pulse rifle with 4 attacks on the 4 up with 4/5 damage. For melee, he was equipped with a ritual blade, which is an equipment slot, so more on that later. He has a unique ability that allows you to select a visible operative in the ploy phase in order to retain 1 successful hit before rolling in combat or shooting. He also has Rogue, which may be available for the whole team, if I'm guessing right. So let's just have a look at Rogue. Rogue allows you to retain 1 additional dice as a successful normal save as a result of cover, or retain 1 dice as a successful critical save instead of a normal save as a result of cover. It looks like something we've seen before with the Intercession kill team. Now we have the long sight or sniper of the team, armed with a long hunting rifle and 4 attacks, 3s to hit on 3/3 damage and mortal wounds 3 on the crit. Not quite the best sniper because of the 3s to hit, but certainly not the worst, like the blooded sniper. The sniper also has a unique action called long sight, but it was never used, so I have no idea on this. I guess maybe it will be like take aim from the Void Scar Corsairs, which gives the user balanced for the activation. Next, the cold-blooded or veteran of the team. I think he has a Kroot rifle but with better ammunition, one of which we have an example of, the piercing shot, which also seems to be an equipment choice. So it's 4 attacks, ballistic skill user with 3/4 damage and AP1 and limited. It does say limited, but the cold blood is special, so he gets to use the ammo twice per game. Now for the Kroot Warriors, GA2 armed with a Kroot rifle, but unfortunately we didn't get to see the stats, so the only thing I know is that it has 4 attacks. They also seem to have Rogue, which we went through with the Kill Broker, so moving on to the Cutskin, who is one of my favourites so far, armed with the Cutskin blades, 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, 3/4 damage with balance and lethal 5+. He's no slouch in combat, but I really like him for his abilities and unique actions. So his unique action is Savage Assault, which allows him to fight twice against the same opponent, but he also has an ability called Vicious Duelist, which dishes out mortal wounds for every failed hit of your opponent in combat. Nice. Now for the Kroot Tracker, who I'm pretty sure we've seen on a Warcom article, so just a brief mention here. He can give an additional APL to a friendly operative, and he also has his little Pokemon Pekra, who can essentially remove cover from a marked target. Next is the Bow Hunter, and unfortunately the only thing we found out in the bat rep is that he's armed with an accelerator bow with different types of ammo. I don't know what those different types of ammo are, but there is a fused arrow and it's hitting on 4s. That's it. Now for the Heavy Gunner, and he's armed with a long Daxi tri-ballast weapon. And they mentioned that it was anti-armor. We didn't get to see it in action too much in the bat rep, but it did take out the cat, and it looked like only 2 defense dice were rolled, so I'm guessing it's AP1. I only saw 4 dice that had hit, but it could have been more than that because they tended to remove the dice that missed from the tray. But other than that, he's just armed with a Kroot blade for melee, and no idea what that does either. Okay. Last of all is the Kroot Hound, and I don't know anything about him either. Like, all he did was camp on a objective all game, but it was mentioned he had ripping fangs and a bad temper. But I don't know what that means. Now we are on to the Tac Ops. First is Butcher. Every time you kill an operative, they drop a meat token which needs to be collected using a pickup action. So you score VPs by, at the end of the battle, if the total meat tokens collected is equal to or more than a quarter of the total number of enemy operatives deployed, you score 1 VP. If the tokens collected are equal to or more than half of the enemy operatives deployed, you score another VP. Balance the books is Tac Op 2, and I don't think I've seen anything like this before. So if you score maximum victory points from a Tac Op and no more than half your operatives have been incapacitated when you do so, you score 1 VP. If you score maximum victory points from another Tac Op and no more than half of your opponents have been incapacitated when you do so, you score 1 VP. So that's quite interesting. I've never seen that before. Might potentially be difficult because usually more than half of my operatives get killed when I play Kill Team. But anyway, finally we have Bounty Hunters, which is Tac Op 3. Your opponent selects an operative, and if you take him out, you score 1 VP. If you confirm the kill, you score another VP, but unfortunately they didn't include the action on how to achieve this last part. So depending on what archetype the Farstalker Kinband can take, Tac Op 2 could be pretty good, maybe? I don't know. Tac Op 1 sounds fun, but perhaps difficult for an APL 2 team to achieve, and Tac Op 3 is universally agreed that giving your opponent the power to hide the bounty operative is a bad idea, though it does sound quite fun in a non-tournament setting. Lastly, we have the Ploys. The first 3 I mentioned I think are strategic ploys, and the last one, Vengeance for the Kinband, was a tactical ploy. First up is Prey, which gives an operative an ability when it activates to give their ranged weapons balanced and heavy. And I bloody hate heavy, so not sure on this one, but in the right circumstances, yeah, okay. Next is Cutthroat, which adds 1 to the attack characteristics of melee weapons, capped at 4, which seems okay, I think. Then the Farstalk immediately changed the order of up to 3 friendly Farstalker Kinband operatives that are more than square from enemy operatives, which I really like. I think this could be super useful. So lastly, we have Vengeance for the Kinband, which allows you to re-roll any or all of your attack dice on an enemy operative that killed one of your operatives, which I really quite like, especially on a particularly difficult operative to remove. Could really give you the upper edge. So there we have it. There didn't seem to be as much information as the Imperial Navy, and I really like the aesthetic of the Kroot, but the teams that I like the look of either seem to be really difficult to play, like the Void Scar Corsairs, or really underpowered, like the Blooded, so I hope this doesn't happen to the Farstalker Kinband. But I'd love to know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, may you always crit massive.